Hey y'all, it's Maria Com again. It's been a minute. I recently heard that "it's been a minute" is a phrase that was in style, went out of style and out of popularity for a while, and is now coming back apparently. So that's cool or something. I was unaware that it went out of style. So language is weird. Hurrah. When things like skibbity are fun language things that the kids these days, that's even out of style. But, that's a thing that kids were saying for a while, and that's a dumb word, and it doesn't make sense, and it's stupid. But, I'm not just an old codger who's angry about kids using new words. That really is just a dumb word. Sorry if y'all liked using it for the time it was popular. I'm sure it made sense to whoever actually was in that group of people who used it. I think it's a silly word, but that's okay. Silly words are fine. People are allowed to use silly words. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. We were less than a minute in, and I went on a tangent already. Pretty great. Anyway, it has been a minute because I have really been struggling. Basically, what I have been doing, because I am grieving, and just gonna throw out there, do not recommend. I know grief is something we all have to go through if we are generally normal human beings, but it's just not working out for me. I don't know if what I am going through is a quote unquote normal level of grief, or if it's worse because the world is kind of falling apart right now and that just adds extra stress on top of everything, or if maybe I'm just bad at grieving because I have not really had to do it before. I don't know, but I'm really struggling. And the things that I am really struggling with are two things. I miss my cat, yeah, that he was a big part of my life. He was my best friend. He was the only thing, here. He was the thing I came home to every day. He was the creature I spent all of my time around, unless I was out of my house. But I didn't do that much because I was a hermit. I still am kind of a hermit. But, yeah. So I miss my cat, but the two parts of grieving that are really, really hard for me are the cognitive effects. Like, my short-term memory has been very bad over the past few weeks. I feel like, in terms of, work, for example, it's been bad all the time, because my job just encompasses so many things, and it's impossible to remember them all. So that makes me feel like my memory was already kind of bad, but it has been so much worse lately. It is just bad. And I also just have not been able to think very much. Normally I'm pretty good at coming up with solutions and problem solving and that kind of stuff. I just have not been able to do a lot of that over the past few weeks. And whenever there is a problem, it takes me a lot longer to solve, a lot longer to figure out what to do. Yeah. Fortunately, I know people at work are generally understanding, and my boss lost her dog last year. That was a big part of her life, in a similar way to my cat, I think, was for me. So, she gets it. But I am very bad at giving myself grace about it, though. I am very bad at giving myself a break. And someone at work yesterday even was like, well, maybe you should just take some time off. You can use sick time and take time off. And all I could think was, what am I going to do if I take time off, though? I'm just going to sit around at home and be sad. I'm not going to do anything, so what would be the point of taking time off? It's also really busy right now at work. There's a lot of crap going on. I don't know. I have a thing that I have to do on December 1st for work, and so maybe after that I'll take some time off. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I just feel like I can't take any time off right now. This all kind of happened at not an ideal time, so it's been a struggle, but maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, so the cognitive effects like that have been a real struggle for me. I think I mentioned this in my previous video, but literally my worst fear in life is my brain not working the way it is supposed to. So it has not been great for me. Yeah. The other aspect of grieving that has really, really been hard for me, and it's just like an increasing thing lately. I really, really noticed it yesterday, which was Friday, after a long week of work. I'm having a really hard time regulating my emotions. Like yesterday, it felt like everything was really incredibly frustrating and annoying, and it was very difficult to not respond in a super snarky, sarcastic way to a lot of things. And I don't, like, again, like I said, I don't know if this is, like, I assume this is normal in grieving. I just don't know if it's normal for it to be affecting me this badly. I'm not gonna, and this is gonna sound terrible, but I don't think therapy is helpful. It has never been helpful for me in the past, so I don't know that, like, talking to a licensed professional is gonna help me in any way go through this. Because what are they gonna do other than say, yeah, this is normal grieving? Why don't you just talk about it? That's not helpful. It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't fix the problem. And it doesn't make me feel better, if I already know what you're gonna say. So, I don't know. I'm not saying it doesn't work for other people. It just has never worked for me in the past when I have tried it, and it's hard to sit here and be like, yeah, it's great. So, or yeah, it's like a worthwhile thing to do. Maybe if I can find a way to get some free therapy. I don't know. I just don't. It takes time out of my life, and yeah. I don't know. I've not been spending a lot of time doing anything very productive. I have been doing a lot of knitting, I guess, because I can do that, and what I've been doing is playing some super mindless video games. I've been playing Vampire Survivors, but I have stuff in Vampire Survivors upgraded so much that it doesn't really take a lot of brain power. I can get it to a certain point in a run and then just let it sit and not even have to control anything. And I won't die, and I'll get to the end of the stage, so it's fine. So I've been doing that, and then knitting at the same time, especially once I get to a point where I don't have to control the character anymore. And just mindlessly listening to YouTube videos or podcasts or whatever. Because I guess I am trying to not think, and maybe that's not the smartest thing in the world, but it's also, the holidays are coming up, and this is going to be the first year I have not really spent holidays with my family because I am not speaking to my parents. I know my parents are coming to town, though. So next week is Thanksgiving. I'm an American. Hi. I do not support the idea of Thanksgiving as what it's supposed to be celebrating in terms of, like, the watered down, very whitewashed idea of, like, the Pilgrims, making friends with the natives and totally not ruining things for anyone who was in America before they got here, and, all of that stuff. I don't support that, but I do support the idea of togetherness and, family and all that stuff. But I'm not going to be celebrating with my family this year. Normally I would hang out with my brother-in-law's family because they always invite me to stuff, but they are all out of town this year. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. My sister and brother-in-law are here in town, but they are not sure if they're going to do anything on Thanksgiving itself. My parents are coming to town to stay with my sister and brother-in-law the Friday after Thanksgiving, and then staying over the weekend. I don't want to see them or hang out with them or whatever. On a good day, I wouldn't want to be around them right now. While I am in this process of grieving and not being able to think properly and not being able to regulate my emotions properly, it just won't be a good time. Like, I just am pretty sure I won't be nice. So, I don't have anything to talk about that they are gonna want to talk about, and what's the point of me just sitting there being miserable the whole time, censoring myself, and, whatever. It's just not gonna be a good time. It'll probably just turn into an argument, and that's not what they want. So, like, what's the point of even being around them? They will, I know. My mom has been sending me letters, or cards, I guess, throughout the past year that I haven't read any of. I'm kind of thinking of maybe being a little self-destructive and doing that today. I say self-destructive because they are going to be gaslighting and manipulative. They're going to be her saying, like, I'm sorry, even though she doesn't know what she's saying she's sorry for. And she's not sorry because she won't change. This is a constant thing with her. Who routinely will say, oh, I'm sorry for doing that, and then continue to do it and not make any effort to change. That has been routine throughout our whole lives. And I'm just to a point in my life where I'm adult enough and am able to set enough boundaries where I can say, you can, maybe in the moment you are sorry, but you're not sorry enough to change. So it ain't worth it. It ain't worth pretending that you actually understand and want to change. And in this case, it's about stuff she's never going to change. She is unwilling to explain to her actions and her decisions to me. And that's fine. You don't have to. But if you're unwilling to explain it to me, then I am never going to understand, and I'm never going to approve or respect you. So, if you choose to make really poor decisions and you won't explain them to me, then you are just telling me that you just want to be a terrible person and you don't care about other people and how your decisions affect those other people. And I don't want to be around someone like that. And I'm never going to respect someone like that who just is basically making decisions for incredibly selfish reasons and not thinking about how it's going to affect others. That just makes you a terrible person. I will never respect you, and I don't want to be around you. So that's how I feel about my mom right now. My dad, I guarantee my dad does not know why I am angry with him. But, and if he did, it wouldn't matter, because again, it's stuff that he's never going to change. It's a lot of similar stuff, but on top of the similar stuff, there's bigotry involved, and he doesn't think he's a bigot. And every time I've tried to explain to him that, oh, you're being a racist, or, oh, that's really misogynist, you should stop that, you should rethink your feelings about that, it's really terrible. He just doesn't care and doesn't think it's a problem and disagrees and says, I'm not a racist, but I'm gonna sit here and badmouth this black dude constantly. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's black. It's just because he's a bad person, even though I don't know. It's subjective about whether he's a bad person or not, but, it's more like you've literally singled out the only black person in this group, and you're saying, oh, he's a bad person, and here are all the things I hate about him, that plenty of other people also do those things. So, I don't know. It just sort of seems like you're being a racist. And you can sit there and pretend that it's not incredibly misogynist to say things like, well, this woman who has authority and is in a high position only got there because she was sucking dick. But you can sit there and pretend that that's not super misogynistic, but it is pretty damn misogynistic, because a super qualified woman got there by being super qualified, not by just being sexual. Sorry to say. And I just can't imagine. I can't imagine the thought process other than you're just a terrible bigot and a terrible misogynist. I cannot imagine the thought process of, yeah, that's something I'm gonna say to my single woman daughter. Because she needs to hear that. It just makes me wonder, does he think everything I have ever accomplished in life, which I mean hasn't been a lot lately, but I have accomplished some things in life, does he think that I only got those things by sucking dick? I mean, you know, what am I supposed to think? I assume that he just doesn't respect me at all, so why the hell should I respect him? But yeah, anyway, they're gonna be this got really long because I started ranting about my parents, which is not the plan. But hey, here we are. Um, I know they're gonna be in town. I don't want to see them or talk to them or whatever. They're probably gonna try to come over to my house. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna handle that. I am prepared to like call the police and tell them that my parents are trespassing if they try that, but you know, just ain't worth it. Someone at work, excuse me, suggested that I could just not answer the door. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that, but they will know I am home. They know me. They know that that I'm a hermit and I don't do a whole lot, and I especially won't be doing a whole lot those days. But, so they'll know I'm home. But it's whatever. The people I would usually hang out with, other than my like sister and brother-in-law, are busy. They have family in town. They have in-laws in town, so I can't like hang out with them. I don't know. It's just going to be a whole thing. I am planning on working on Friday next week, at the Friday after Thanksgiving, because I have no reason not to, unless something crazy happens. The problem is that I, have to prep for this December 1st thing, and I just don't know how I'm going to do that with only 3 days in a week next week. So I'm probably going to work on Friday too. But yeah. It's just not a great time right now. And then there's the Christmas holiday that I'm not prepared to think about at all. But yeah, because of family stuff and all of this drama and crap. But yeah, I did not expect, going back to the grief thing, I did not expect it to, I don't mean to say that, like, I thought it would be quick and it would be over really fast, or whatever, because that's not what I mean. I know that it's never going to go away. Like, it'll never completely be gone. I'm always gonna miss my cat. He was a big part of my life for 10 years, and that's never gonna go away. But it's just been really hard to navigate, and I expected it to get easier quicker, that I can say. I expected it to not be so hard for like, I expected it to maybe be hard for a week, and then I would be able to, like, move past it. And yeah, still think about him and be sad sometimes, but also, have happy memories. I do have happy memories still. It's not like, I'm not saying I don't, but every time I think of those happy memories, they also make me sad, and that is hard. And I don't know. Yeah. I just didn't expect this to negatively affect me cognitively and negatively affect my ability to regulate emotions so much for more than a week or two. Yeah. That's like, I guess since I have not experienced it, I did not understand how draining it was going to be and how hard and how much it's just, on top of all of the other negative stuff happening, like, in the country I live in and in the world right now, it's just hard to see a decent future of any kind. And it has been like that for a while, for several years. But it's just so much worse when I don't have my cat to help me through it anymore. So, um, after I have this big work thing on December 1st, I am going to consider going to one of the shelters and maybe getting another cat. At least looking. I mean, I know that is something that would help. I don't. It makes me feel bad to an extent because I'm not replacing him. And I know people wouldn't think of it that way, but it's hard for me to not think of it that way. I know this is a normal thing that people do, but, you know, if there is some kind of afterlife for pets, I don't want him to think I'm replacing him. I think he gets it. I think, I don't know, if I had gotten 2 cats when I had first gotten him, I think he would have liked that. So maybe if there is an afterlife and he's hanging around, maybe he would like to have another cat around here. I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that after this whole big work thing is done on December 1st. Then I would have to take time off because I would need, like, I would want a couple of days with my new cat in my house without having to go anywhere or do anything and just leave it here. So, yeah. I have not had a new cat for a long time. It has been 10 years. So, I don't know how to do that anymore. I'd have to ask someone, and it's hard because every new cat my sister has gotten has been with other cats in their house, so there's something to do. I would feel bad about leaving a new cat in my house alone while I go to work for 9 hours every day. So yeah, I don't know. It's something I am thinking about to try and help me through it, but yeah. I miss my boy. I was able to go through photos of him and, like, reorganize them, put them into an album in my phone instead of just willy-nilly all over the place. Transferred all of them to my computer, deleted some from my phone that were kind of just like duplicates and stuff. You know how you take multiple pictures in one moment so that you can get a good one. So I have done that. I have been posting a couple of videos. I don't have a ton of videos of him because he hated photos and videos. I mostly could only get, like, photos. I was able to snap some good ones now and then, but he hated whenever I would videotape him, so I don't have a lot of those. But I have been posting some of the better ones I do have as shorts on here, so maybe you've seen those. I don't know, and I do want to keep doing that. The problem is, a lot of them were videoed in landscape and not portrait, and that doesn't work super great for shorts, so, you know. I'm an old fart, so landscape is my jam, and portrait videos are weird, and I don't like them. No, it's not that I don't like them, I just never think to film things in portrait mode, so, yeah. It's a whole thing, but at some point, if it ever becomes easier and I am able to think more, I would like to do a tribute video to him of some kind. Maybe just showing some of the better photos I have of him or the more fun photos of him or something. It needs to get a little easier though, and I was expecting to be able to do that within the second week after him being gone, but that has not been a thing, so. But yeah, this has gotten super long. Did not expect it to be this long. And I'm probably not going to edit. I don't think there's a lot I would need to edit out of this one. So we're just going to leave it. Sorry. I know I suck for not editing these. But yeah, if I keep doing this, that's something I am going to work on as well, is getting better at editing them, getting better at making them more interesting and not just me rambling over a picture I put up. Yeah. But I'll probably put a photo of my kitty in this one because I love him and I miss him. Or maybe just a video on repeat. I could do that in landscape for a video instead of a short. So maybe I'll do that. Just a video of my boy on repeat. Yeah, so if that's what you see, that's what you see, and that's what I decided to do. This is very long now, and I apologize, because no one's gonna listen to me rambling this long, especially just ranting about how grief sucks and then family sucks. It sucks. I love my family, but I do not respect them anymore. My sister and brother-in-law, great people. Love them. Respect them a lot. My parents, no. Do not respect them. I don't know how I feel about my grandma at this point. I love her and respect what she has done in life and all of that, but if she believes the same way my parents do, I do not respect her in that respect. So, yeah. And my brother, I don't know. My brother is weird, so it's a whole thing. Maybe. I don't know. Can I do a live on here? Maybe I'll do a live on Thanksgiving if no one else is doing anything in my sphere of the world. And just hang out. I don't know. No one would care on here, but I should give myself a little more credit. Maybe someone would care. Anyway, we're gonna cut this off. It's gotten too long. This has been my Rhea Calm, and if you've listened this long, I appreciate you listening to all my rambling. And a little bit of getting emotional and stuff. And I will chat at you again soon, hopefully. Bye.